You cannot discover a place that already has people living there. To the guy who said Africa was discovered by Europeans, let me teach you something. You don't discover a place where millions of people already lived, traded, built kingdoms, and developed complex systems long before Europeans touched African soil. When Vasco da Gama arrived in 1497, he didn't find wilderness. He found cities. He found the Swahili coast, Kilwa, Mombasa, Mapungubwe, civilizations trading with India and China centuries earlier. Only thing Europe discovered was its own greed. You didn't discover Africa. You invaded it. You renamed it. You redrew the borders. You enslaved and colonized. That doesn't sound like discovery. It sounds like theft. Why do we still believe this lie? Because history is taught from the perspective of the thief, not the victim. And that is why your textbooks lie.
Leave the goddamn people alone. It's their natural resources. If you want it, then you need to pay for it.
Oh my God, white women are angry. Very angry. What happens when white women begin to talk about African politics? It's taken seriously. And when white women begin to talk about a particular person, Ibrahim Traore, then it will be given priority.
Have you heard of Ibrahim Traore before today? Do you think the West fears leaders who actually serve their people? This is the Africa you're not shown, but I'm here to show you.
White women are now talking about Ibrahim Traore and the imperialistic attacks he's getting from France, from the US, from the West. And they're telling their people, leave the guy alone. Hands off Burkina Faso and hands off Ibrahim Traore. Let's go.
While Western leaders bicker over trade wars and election headlines, a 35-year-old African president just kicked out a former colonial power, and barely anyone's talking about it. His name is Ibrahim Traore. He's the president of Burkina Faso, a land rich in gold, culture and resilience, and he's shaking global politics. Traore was a military captain, young, determined, tired of watching his people suffer under corruption and insecurity. In 2022, he led a coup, not to seize power, but to reclaim it for the people. Burkina Faso was colonized by France. And long after so-called independence, France still pulled the strings. Military bases, gold mines, media control. Traore ended it. He expelled every French soldier and said, "We'd rather die in dignity than live in domination." That's not defiance, that's freedom.
So it seems that the United States is messing around with Africa again, Burkina Faso, because Traore has run France out of the country, taken back their gold and their mining and everything else that belongs to their country. And he is uplifting his people. What is it with Western countries and the United States, why they like to go in and destabilize other countries, and then they wonder why there's immigration to this country? Because you keep on destabilizing other countries. Leave the goddamn people alone. It's their natural resources. If you want it, then you need to pay for it.
Burkina Faso was formerly colonized by France and has an abundance of gold in natural resources. Traoré pushed out Western influence, including the mine owners, who were French mine owners in Burkina Faso. France wanted to reestablish relations with Burkina Faso, and if you've seen Macron giving a pretty ridiculous speech trying to say one day they'll thank us for helping them, no, they just wanted you to leave them alone. So now the US is getting involved. And we can all guess what those claims are going to be. Now we're seeing the claim, oh, he's stealing all the gold for himself and he's not helping his people. The next they're gonna be like, we need to bring democracy to Burkina Faso, like those typical things that the US says in order to manufacture consent for invasion and ultimately backing a coup, which I'm sure they have already tried.
This is Ibrahim Traoré. If you don't know who he is, you should. Ibrahim has been the president of Burkina Faso since 2022. Right now, Burkina Faso has been in the news a lot because there was just recently a coup attempted upon him. This is like the 19th coup that they've had against him. He is a shining example of what African countries could look like if European colonizers could keep their colonizing asses out of their countries. And yes, I do realize that I am a European descendant person talking about this, but I am specifically here to educate other white people so that way you guys know what's being done to disenfranchise places like Burkina Faso.
I love Africa. It's so difficult to watch Ibrahim, I can't even say his name, Traore, in his speeches and not be absolutely like shaken to the core at the absolute dedication he has to his people. And of course, that's a threat. That's a threat to colonialists. That's a threat to the West. Having anyone who is able to gather people that were ultimately very divided in a very large continent is a threat. If you don't know, Ibrahim has already survived over a dozen assassination attempts. I think he was like 18 or something. And of course, France is threatening him. He has taken upon himself in Burkina Faso to build roads. He's putting in the infrastructure. He's taken it away from private companies to ensure there's no corruption through there. And they are on the ground building roads right now, building the infrastructure that Africa deserves. He has taken control over their own resources. And of course, this is a huge threat because these colonialist nations like France, they profit off of exploiting Africa, and they always have. A continent as rich in resources and culture like Africa, being independent and being free and being able to profit for its people, oh my God, now that's a whole new world.
What is it going to take? Ibrahim Traore needs to be protected at any cost. Any and all cost. Protect this man. For God's sake, protect this man.
I told you anybody, anyone, from anywhere, regardless of whoever he is, black, brown, green, yellow, purple, pink, as long as you support Capt.Ibrahim Traore and you're talking about him positively, you definitely become a friend to me because I'll talk about you. I'll sit here and talk about it. I must address it. The first guy made me do this video. He's a white, yeah, but he's talking about Capt.Ibrahim Traore, and I came to realize that not all white people are red flag. Not all of them are bad. There are white people who are good. They are very supportive. They are very nice. And I've come to realize that. I have actually come across some many people who are white, and they are talking positively about Africa. They are defending genuinely Africa and Africans, and I'm like, oh yeah, so there are white people who still exist. Yeah, exactly. I know many people will maybe come on the comment section and start telling me, oh, you know, white people cannot be trusted and all that. They start maybe fighting me and all that, but I'm saying the truth. Me, I'm a kind of a person who loves speaking the truth. Yeah, just like my president, Capt.Ibrahim Traore. One time he said, he is not an enemy to France. Yeah, he's not an enemy to white people. He wants just justice to his people. If white people come to Africa and they want to live in Africa like brothers and sisters, it is okay. If they are coming to Africa and they are going to respect the views and perspective of Africans and the rules of Africans, they're going to respect Africans the way they are and how they do things, it is okay with him. He doesn't have a problem. Same to me. If you're a white person, you are a human. You respect humanity. You love people. Yeah, regardless of their color and all that. Me, I love you. Me, I'm going to talk about you, and I'm going to talk about you positively. Yeah, that is me. Okay, so whatever the thing you're gonna say, it's okay, but at the end of the day, the truth must be said and the truth must be told. It's bitter truth, but it's true. There are white people who are humans, and humanity is part of them. They know that all of us are human beings. We are all brothers and sisters. We are all we were created, all of us, by Christ, by God himself, and therefore we don't need to hate each other. We need to love each other. We need to work together. We need to do things together. There are those who have that mind. Many of them don't have. I've also come across white people who really hate on black, and I'm like, I pray that these people one day they're going to change and become good people. Yeah, and therefore myself as an individual, any white person who respects black people, I love them. Because also, again, I hate black people who hate other people. Even if you're a black person and you hate a white person, you're not my friend. Yeah, you're not my friend because me, I don't preach hatred. I don't like people who hate other people. I don't like people who feel they're behaving. It's like other people does not matter. Even if you're a black person, be it from Africa, be it from diaspora, and you hate on a white person, and when I look at you, I feel like this is just hatred. When I look at it, I'm not gonna take it lightly. I'll just look at you in such a manner, and I'm like, okay, you just do what you're doing. But at the end of the day, it's not good. The same way we would love and want white people to respect us, to respect our way of life and our culture and everything we are doing, to respect us, yeah, generally, is the same way some white people who respect black people would want black people to respect them, because we are all humans, okay? And therefore, Ibrahim Traore is a leader who wants the better for his people. And any white person who talks about him positively, I'm gonna agree with him, and I'm going to love them the way they're loving Capt.Ibrahim Traore. Yeah, I want you to take a look at these videos on how white people are talking about Capt.Ibrahim Traore. Then I'll come back and talk about a certain topic that a certain white guy has talked about on these videos that you're watching, and then you will tell me what you think. Before then, take a look at these videos.
Burkina Faso's revolutionary government in Africa has officially said no more to the foreign imperialists who are stealing our gold. Capt.Ibrahim Traore, the youngest leader in Africa, has officially withdrawn the mining permits for all foreign companies that were stealing the gold of Burkina Faso. And he put out a statement. He said, "We know how to mine our gold in Burkina Faso, and I don't understand why we are going to let multinationals come in and mine it." Maybe that's why they've tried to unalive him 16 times. In addition to this great news, Capt.Ibrahim Traore placed those mines, 2 of them, under full state control, which means that the people of Burkina Faso will be benefiting from all the revenue generated by those gold mines, not some wealthy investors living in France or the United States. This is the path to true liberation for Africa, and this is definitely what the imperialists in the West fear the most.
While Western leaders bicker over trade wars and election headlines, a 35-year-old African president just kicked out a former colonial power, and barely anyone's talking about it. His name is Ibrahim Traore. He's the president of Burkina Faso, a land rich in gold, culture and resilience, and he's shaking global politics. Traore was a military captain, young, determined, tired of watching his people suffer under corruption and insecurity. In 2022, he led a coup, not to seize power, but to reclaim it for the people. Burkina Faso was colonized by France. And long after so-called independence, France still pulled the strings. Military bases, gold mines, media control. Traore ended it. He expelled every French soldier and said, "We'd rather die in dignity than live in domination." That's not defiance, that's freedom. And yet we're told to admire leaders who privatize public services, who sell off futures and call it growth. But what if real progress means reclaiming what's ours? They label him a dictator, but millions across Africa call him the new Sankara. Maybe we've just forgotten what people-powered leadership looks like. Have you heard of Ibrahim Traore before today? Do you think the West fears leaders who actually serve their people? This is the Africa you're not shown, but I'm here to show you.
Alassana Ouattara, the president of Ivory Coast. Listen to me very carefully. If you are going to let Americans use your air bases or military forces to try kill Ibrahim Traoré or destroy Burkina Faso or destroy Mali or destroy Niger, I am telling you straight, you will face us. And we will point you as Africa's enemy. This is direct warning to you.
Right, welcome back again. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for tuning in. I say every time that you are my greatest people and I love you all wherever you are. Those who are watching me every time, those who have always been here, subscribing to my channel and making sure that what I'm doing, making sure that you always support me. I really, really, really love you. For those who are sending me super thanks, God bless you. In whatever the things you're doing, you're going to be blessed. I really need it. And thank you so much. Now, an imperialist came to Africa and a colonizer came to Africa once upon a time and said, you know, I've discovered Africa. I have a picture and an image of someone who came to Africa and said, and he was guided by black people to Mount Kenya. He went to discover Mount Kenya. Like, he found Mount Kenya existing. But there are black people. He didn't even know the direction to Mount Kenya. But he was being carried by certain black people who knew where Mount Kenya is, who knew the direction to Mount Kenya. They were taking him there to go and discover Mount Kenya. That shows you how black people were taken and how black people were treated back then. And that one is shame. Yeah, that is why we found out that many even black people have invented a lot of things, but they are nowhere to be seen. They cannot be seen in books. They cannot be seen anywhere. But white people are all over. Yeah, invented a lot of things and all that. And I'm like, oh no, that is not how it is. And that guy, the first guy who spoke in this video said, you cannot discover a place where you went there and found already 1 million people living there. Like, how did you discover a place where already you found people living there? They said they discovered Fort Jesus. They discovered Mount Kenya. They discovered Lake Nakuru. They discovered Lake Naivasha. They discovered Lake Victoria. They discovered, I don't know, like, oh my God. Like, how can you discover everything? You found those things existing there. The people who lived around there, they already knew about those physical features you're claiming you discovered. And you are like, you discovered them? Really? How can you discover something that already was existing and there are already people who are living around there? That is how black people were taken back then. And it's because we didn't have that knowledge, we didn't have that understanding of knowing these things. Right now, this is the moment that at least now the existing generation understands a little bit about these things. And therefore, that is why you find out that it is very difficult now to manipulate every African. That is why leaders like Capt.Ibrahim Traoré are rising. Leaders like Abdurrahman Chiani and Assimi Goita are rising. Leaders like PLO Lumumba, Dr. Arikana, Julius Malema, they are speaking out their voices because at the time of manipulation and the time of actually deceiving people, it's over. Yeah, there is no that time again. You know, it was a time when colonizers used to deceive us, and then they are playing victims. And you know, that thing has happened to us for many times. So existing generation has knowledge, and existing generation, it has been very difficult for people to deceive an existing generation because existing generation understands this thing. Okay, and that is why you'll realize even there are some white people now who have come out, they're talking about these things because they sit down and they're looking at this and they feel like, no, this is not what it is, this is not what it's supposed to be, this is not how it's supposed to go. They're like, so how can you be doing all these kind of things? You know, yes, they are white people. Colonizers came from their lands, and they're like, even if we're white people, no, this is not what is supposed to happen. Yeah, because they feel like whatever is happening is very wrong, and whatever these people are doing, they are our people of our color and all that. But what they're doing to black people is not really what is supposed to be done. That is why when Capt.Ibrahim Traoré comes out, yeah, black people are talking about him, they're supporting him. African Americans are talking about him, they're supporting him. And other white people who are humans, who feel like black people are also humans, they're coming out and they're saying, you know what? This young man is actually talking the truth. This young man is after saving his people, and he is doing right. So every person who is trying to attack this young man should get off. Yeah, they should get off because, I mean, you can't be doing this. Yeah, if other white people can get to a point now of understanding this, it means what the colonizers are doing even today. Because I told you, Africa is still colonized. There is an invisible colonization that is going on in Africa. We were lied to. They took some people to Africa, and then they lied to us. Yeah, people they trained and all that, and we thought we had been given freedom and we were independent. And at the end of the day, we were not. Yeah, they continued colonizing us indirectly. We never saw it, but it was going on. This is the time that we now understand, because the generation that exists right now is a generation that is open-minded. Yeah, so white people are supporting black people, and they're supporting Capt.Ibrahim Traore are those people who they know these are black people. They also have a life to live. They also need freedom. They also need independence. And therefore, what these people are doing is not good. That is why when Traore speaks, they air out his views. They support him and all that. Me, I want to just say that we are black people. We need our freedom. We need our independence. Yes, for a very long time, we've gone through some every kind of things, some bad things, and we've endured them all this time. But a time has come when we need our freedom. So if you're a white person, you're out there, and you feel like you feel like black people or Africans are not good people or something like that, just understand and just know, even black people and even Africans are human beings. And the fact that Africans are also human beings, the fact that black people around the globe are human beings, means they also need to be treated well, and they also need to be supported. Okay, we're not begging for the support, but we are only saying they need to be supported. So when you're talking bad against them, when you're resisting them, when you're mistreating them around the globe or wherever wherever the place that you are, understand one thing: you are also a human, and you don't know what tomorrow holds. Yeah, so treat everybody well, treat them well. They might be black, but they're humans like you. And when a black person meets a white person on the road or somewhere else, just know he might be a white person, she might be a white person, but she's a human being. She needs to be treated well. She needs to be protected. She needs to be fought for. Anytime you feel you walk around and find a white person being manipulated and you're a black person, kindly, we are human beings. You support that person, protect that person, yeah, side that person, defend that person, because at the end of the day, we are all humans and we need to treat each other well. Yeah, because if you're a black person, you want a help from a white person. Number one, you need to make sure you are taking care and defending white people wherever they are. If you're a black person, you want a help from a white person, make sure you're defending white people, make sure you're taking care of white people wherever they are, and all that. And if you are a black person, you're a white person, you want help from a black person, make sure that you're not resisting black people, you're not segregating them, you're not discriminating them, because what goes around always comes around. Whatever you give to the nature will give you back the same thing. So that is how we're supposed to live as humans. When God created us, He created everybody in His own image and likeness. Therefore, we look like God, all of us. And at the end of the day, we must be able to live like brothers and sisters. So white people are supporting Capt.Ibrahim Traore. Kudos. I give you my salute, and I really thank you so much. Continue doing what you're doing. That is the goodwill of God, and that is how we are supposed to live as human beings. Tell me what you think on the comment section, my fans and my audience. I'll do my best to make sure I read the comments and give a response where possible. I am Atamba Hate. This is African Streamline, a place of your choice, a place where you are supposed to be. I tell you every day that Africa is home. Anything that concerns Africa concerns me and you as black people. If it's the first time to be here, do not forget to subscribe. But again, if you are a returning subscriber, you know what I do? I salute you. God bless you.